Hello, my name is Helen Magalhães. I'm one of the English 1301 English instructors or freshman English at Texas A&M University Commerce, and I'm here today to give you a very quick lecture about rhetorical terminologies. So now that we know that argument is composed of a claim plus reason and support, now we'll learn the three main types of support or reason, also called ground. So the names that I will be providing and teaching you today are the rhetorical terminologies. So the first one is the most important, is ethos. Why? Because ethos is the credibility of the character or the speaker. It's your ability to persuade your audience by making them trust you, by showing them how credible and ethical you are. So there you go. You have ethos, ethical. If you do not sound very clear and very reasonable on your argument, your audience may not trust you. So that's why it's so important. An academic argument, when you do that, you can borrow ethos from others by using other people's words and giving them credit to build your own ethos. So you borrow their ethos to build your own ethos. So here's an example. Even though my rough draft was not good, I know it will end up being an A grade because, open quotes, almost all good writing begins with terrible first efforts. So that credit goes to Anne Lamont, page 303, at the book Writing About Writing that we use at the English 1301, right? So I just try to convince you that my rough draft is going to be good because according to Anne Lamont, we always start with terrible first efforts. So here you go. I try to build my ethos by using her ethos. Now the next one is pathos, or you may hear the word pathetic. Now I know you must be laughing because pathetic actually carries a bad connotation, but in fact pathetic, all what it means is with pathos. So what is pathos? It's when you try to persuade your audience by appealing to their emotions and interests. So you can do that through pity. So pity would be like an example is like those commercials that show like those mistreated animals, and they're trying to convince you to give them money by showing those sad pictures. So they make you sad, they appeal to your emotions to make you give them money. Now it could be like showing how a car is so good and how exciting it is to drive the car. So they're trying to appeal to your emotions, make you excited so you could buy that car. So it could be happy or sad, right? To do a pathetic argument, it can also appeal to people's values, like their beliefs, or you can even reach to their patriotic duty. So now moving on, the third one is logos. What is logos? Well, logos has to do with logic, right? So anyway, so it's when you try to persuade your audience by using a logical reasoning. You can use like definitions of dictionaries, you can use statistics, surveys, and you use all those hard evidence to try to convince the people, your audience, to believe you. Now, another point of view on logos is that even though hard evidence is considered to be logos on your argument, you can also see logos through your argumentative essay when one statement connects with the other, right? It's like a logical connection that goes through until you get to the end, to your conclusion. So that is also called, it can also be seen as logos, right? So those are the two types of logos that you can see on your academic argument. Now before we end, I would like to point it out to you that when you see an argument, this argument might have all three rhetorical terminologies, all three types of support or reason within them. So it really depends on the point of view. And then you might be able to see all three of them in one argument. So they might be blended. That's my point. When you look at an argument, they may contain one, two, or all three of the rhetorical terminologies. So, okay, so now let's recap. So you remember, so we talk about that argument is composed of a claim plus reason and support, and then the three main rhetorical terminologies are ethos, which is the most important, which talks about the credibility of the speaker, right? And we talk about building your ethos, right, your ability to persuade by using other people's words, by using other people's ethos. Then we talk about pathos or pathetic, which is when you're trying to persuade your audience by appealing to their emotions and interests, or you're talking about like making them happy or sad, or appealing to their values and etc. So that's pathos. Now logos is when you try to persuade your audience by using logical reasoning, or you can also see logos as the connection between your sentences. So in the end, I told you that when looking at an argument, you might be able to see all three of the rhetorical terminologies blend together. It really depends on the point of view. So that's it for today. I hope this will help on your writing process, and I hope this helps you understand a little better about academic argument and about rhetorical terminologies. Good luck.